Hi everyone, it's Terry from the Gypsy Magpie, and I'm here today to share a junk journal that I created for the Graphics Fairy. This week I decided to put together a garden journal for this summer. I'm hoping to keep notes and maybe some photographs, the plant information from my backyard garden this year, and maybe I can add some ideas or plans for next year's garden. So let's see what we've got. I made a little closure here using a ribbon and a button. I put a button on either side, and the way I did the closure was really simple. I used an old Stampin' Up! Punch that cut this half circle notch, and what I did was I punched the notch and I threaded the ribbon through, so it looks like that on the other side. It gave me a nice clean finish, so I was happy with that. I worked primarily from the Garden Party bundle and a lot from the pink, blue, red floral bundle, all off the premium member site. I sprinkled in some birds from Vibrant Birds and some ephemera from the French Papery collection, and I'll try and point them out as we go through. I like traveler's notebook sizes. People call them TNs. I like that size because I carry multiple covers in all of my bags. I've got a couple with me in my work bag. I've got one in my crafting bag. I keep my calendar in a traveler's notebook. I'm keeping my coronavirus information in traveler's notebooks. I like them because of the size. They're extremely portable, and I like the fact that you can make them out of anything you want. The base for my journal was made out of an insert. When I'm sitting there with nothing to do, I love to put together inserts. You can buy them. They're super inexpensive. But I mean, I'm a crafter. I've got tons of paper, so I just use a variety of weights and sizes, and sometimes I go ahead and I stitch them together like this one. Other times I will leave them loose so that if something's not working for me, I simply just pull it out. But I've always got, I don't know, 20, 30, 40 of these sitting around, so if I need to make a list, it can be in a junky one that I just throw away. I just toss when I'm done. If there are things I want to keep, I can always slice the sheet out, and I could glue that paper down into whatever monthly one I'm working on. So that is what I started with for the structure of this book. The cover is made out of a printable from the pink, blue, and red floral bundle, and all I did on this blank nameplate, I pulled out my stamping supplies. I don't stamp often because I'm not a good stamper at all, but I love to buy stamps. It's part of the crafting hoarding disease we all have. So I used just some really swirly generic stamps. There were words on them, but I really couldn't tell you what any of them say. They were just very, very pretty, so I used it throughout the pages. For stamping, especially if you're not a great stamper, this is a fantastic ink to use. It makes your images just crystal clear. So that was how the cover came about. I really like these girls. I thought they were cute. When I'm going to start working on a journal, I don't know exactly what size I want things to be, so I print out a bunch. I print out different sizes. Nothing goes to waste because I can always cut the images out and use them for something else. But I mean, just being able to kind of shop through things that are already printed for me makes it really easy to put something together. Like these birds are so pretty. If I didn't use them in the journal, which I didn't, I can cut them out and I can glue them on an envelope for something that I'm mailing. I can just glue one on one of the sheets in my notebook just because it made my grocery list look pretty. I've already got them. I might as well use them, and I love to fussy cut. So I also try and use things in a way that works for me. I like to have a pocket. So what I did was I took these flags. It was a printable, and there was a whole set of them in there in the garden party bundle. And I went ahead, printed it, cut it out, and then I turned it and I cut it so that it fit what I needed. And anytime you like the design of something, make it work for you. No one's going to come knocking on your door because you didn't use an image the way that it was maybe intended. I like when there's a lot of blank space because I can do a lot of writing. If I want to tuck photos in, I can glue them on the backs of these. The other thing you can do, you can always kind of like tape in a little tip in. A little bit of washi tape works great for photos if you wanted to do that. One of the things that I think probably all junk journal lovers love, we just like stuff. So the more little bits and pieces in the book, the happier we are. I've got, again, another great big printable that she had in. This one might have come from Garden Party, but it may also have come from the Pink, Blue, Red Florals. These birds are fantastic. I love how these look, and these also were a printable. It's always fun when your pages and what's inside your book are all different sizes. This was, there were a variety of circular images. I'm not really sure what else people are using them for, but they were really, really pretty. I used a handful of them throughout the book. I guess they're coasters might be what they're called, but they're pretty. It would also be really neat to do a completely circular book where all the pages are circles. Little pockets here and there. This was just, I think you can see the line. It was a single card. I cut it in half, made it work. I like to back these little ephemera pieces with something so that I could glue a photo on. If I want to write on it, a little bit of gesso brushed on here is opaque enough to where you can see your own writing, but it kind of fades this out so that you actually can see your own writing. Little things like this were simply cut from some excess. I think it came off of one of those little flags. But she had some corners that I thought were really, really nice. So again, I print things out different sizes to try and see what I can do with them. This is just very, very simple. It was just the book print. I cut out one of the girls, stuck this circular coaster on, and I did a little fussy cut off of another image. I like to layer things, so again, this was what was remaining on one of those flags. The little garden seed packets are so cute. They actually open up. You can slip a note. You could slip seeds in there. The seed packets are printables, so they're awesome. You print them out. Sorry about the glare. But you print them out, you cut them out and fold them, and voila, you have a seed packet, and they're great. Again, another one of those coasters, and then bits and pieces cut off of other images. And a page out of Charlotte's Web. I couldn't cover it up. Another thing, I like to use masking tape in my journals. I like the kind of vintagey look of it. Some people use a little bit of distress ink on theirs. I like mine just the way it is. I love the color. Made a little pocket out of a postcard. Postcards are sort of my thing. So I printed out two, made them front and back, glued them together along this edge and the bottom. I used the masking tape to hold it in. So I treated it just like a tip-in. Great place to stick a little ephemera card. These little cards that are tucked in all came from the French Papery collection, but I used the vibrant birds to decorate things a little bit. This was pretty. This was from Garden Party. And I don't know, I love the look of those. Gives me again some places to write notes, some places I can put little pictures. This was just a leaf that was cut off of one of the images. I'm over here with my other hand trying to see if I can leaf through my pile and find it, and I don't right now. This whole thing was a printable journal page. I just cut it down and made it work in mine. I cut her out of off of one of the coasters. They're really pretty with the flowers in their hair. The gazebo was fantastic because in my backyard we have a great big gazebo that looks almost exactly like this. Mine does not have a chandelier hanging in it. Most of the time it has some cobwebs on the top and some dried leaves here and there. But we actually have a metal gazebo that looks almost exactly like this. So I thought that was kind of cool to have in my garden journal. Again, I used it was just some plain cream cardstock. I glued this whole journal page on and pulled out the stamp and did a little stamp there. The stamping is definitely imperfect, but that works for me. I've got some more of that masking tape. Masking tape, if you don't mind the look of it, and I love it, it's a lifesaver when you're using fragile old paper. Sheet music, a lot of times, if you used it before, you know, sometimes it cracks when you fold. So if you can reinforce with a little bit of masking tape, it makes it super sturdy. Here's another one of those really cute garden seed packets. I like those a lot. And this was French Papery collection. These beautiful, they look like coleus leaves. Those were cut off of another one of those printable flags. And since I wanted it to kind of lay over the top, I went ahead and glued it on, and then I took my X-Acto knife and I cut right here so that I can still use it as a pocket. So if you see, the little leaf is right there. Here's another one of those beautiful birds. They're so colorful. And another one of the coasters. This might be my favorite image of all in the whole book. And again, this is that really nice intricate corner. And I printed it out 3 or 4 different sizes, because that's something I'm pretty sure I will be using just in my regular journal, maybe in my calendar, on one of my calendar pages. I did a little tuck spot here. Again, this is one of those printable journal pages, and you can size those down if you're not familiar with how. There's tutorials on it on the site that explain how you can change your the print size of your images. Get to know your printer and how to adjust those print sizes, because it truly opens up a whole new world. Again, I like to back the small little tucks that I use. I don't like to just have the white cardstock on the back, so I will always cover them with something. And last page in the journal is a really pretty, I had printed it out multiple sizes. I was trying really hard to use the large one, but it just didn't make it in here. But this may end up in another journal. It's a garden plan of a very, very fancy garden. Mine looks nothing like that, but you can always dream. So I layered that with the very nice floral, and I put her in. We all dress like that when we work in our garden, I'm sure. And little stamps, again, just here and there. That's pretty much the end of the journal. This one I had such a great time making. I purposely left this one extremely flat. There is no fabric, there's no lace, there's no anything, because this one I am definitely gonna tuck into the traveler's notebook, the great big cover that I carry. My great big one has about 5 or 6 inserts in it, and it can get very thick and very heavy. So if I keep them thin like this, they're much more usable for real time. They're something that I use every day rather than just, keep in a basket on my coffee table. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I had a wonderful time making it. Hop back onto the site next week and check out what the other designers are sharing, because someone's always making something. So go and make yourself something today. Have a wonderful week. Thanks so much for stopping. Bye.